I'm going to switch over to another song now called Same Old Song. So the topic of that, again, what I was talking about was, feeling frustrated from doors being shut, from people not giving me a chance years ago when I was starting out, and just the frustrations of that. I'm going to give you a preview of what this song sounds like. So it's quite different from Anxiety, you'll hear. It's a little bit more R&B.
You're regretting, forget it, I don't need it. How was that singer you were missing? Now I'ma make this real easy. Pick up where I left, I shouldn't have to hurry, hold on to this hope on my own. Think of where you started yourself. Now I found my home. Spill me into the same old song. You missed the cue, you didn't show. Spill me into the same old song. Shut the door that I keep knocking. Spill me into the same old song. And now I'm better off. Spill me into the same old song. Give me the same old song. I see you on the videos, I hear you, and I must say it takes a lot to get through to you. You're gonna need time to explain. Forget it, I don't need you. I was up front when you were tricky. Get what you give after all. So tell me what you got, and I'ma give it all. I've been working all along to get off the ground. The least that you could do is try to help me out too. Spill me into the same old song. You missed the cue, you didn't show. Spill me into the same old song. Shut the door that I keep knocking. It's the same old song. And now I'm better off. Spill me into the same old song. Give me the same old song. Spill me into the same old song. Oh, you missed the cue, you didn't show. It's the same old song. Oh, you locked the door that I kept knocking. It's the same old song. And now I'm better off. Spill me into the same old song.
Yeah, so let's just listen to that one. Again, that's unmixed. So the plugins that I used on this track slightly varied from the last one. I used Sound Toys again, so I used Echo Boy. I'll show you actually how I use that. So Echo Boy, it's a great delay little plug-in feature. What I did was I actually chucked it on this little synth that comes in at the end of verse 2. See if you can hear what I mean. And I'll give you more pre-roll. In this part here where the automation goes up, we hear it. So you kind of hear that it's very subtle. Maybe on this side it sounds subtle. But you can kind of hear like the delay on it to make it sound like it's in a space, in a room. Kind of the way that reverb works, but I wanted to use a delay instead. So all I did there was just on the side here for you Ableton users, I just sent it to a return track down the bottom to Echo Boy and just automated that coming in on that section. I also used Diva, which is another plugin. I use that for the bass sound. So again, I layered 2 different bass sounds in this track just to kind of beefen it up because I wanted it to sound quite big. So, 3 basses, 3. So the first bass, this is the Diva bass. This is this one here. So there's that layer. That's Diva. Then I put on another bass underneath that. So I used Trillion again for a really great subby kind of sound. It's subtle but together. And then for the final choruses, just to kind of take it up a notch, that's when I added in the pocket piano, this guy here, as another bass layer. Just kind of adds to a bit more. Cool. So they're the plugins. Now I'm going to tell you a little story about how I actually started this track. I started this by actually sampling one of my friend's voices from a little bit of audio, just singing some notes, and I dragged that into where is it? I'll see the example here. So the vocal synth, basically made a synth from this guy's vocal. Dragged the audio in onto sampler. So here it is on its own. So what that means is when I dragged it in, it spread it over all the notes on the keyboard, and I was able to play a chord progression. So this is just random notes, what that sounds like spread over different keys. And then I came up with this chord progression. After that, I moved on to producing the beat straight after. So I'll just solo that. I had a lot of fun producing this one because I really wanted to make the groove of it quite, I don't know, just funky. So this is the drum groove. Yeah, so I kind of vibed on that for a bit and I wanted to create that. That's when I added in like the other layers. So the Prophet, I used that as a bit of hardware in the track. So that comes in the verse too. This kind of adds a bit more beef when it kind of builds up to that last chorus. This sound here. And then in the context.
Get what you give after all. So tell me what you got, and I'ma give it all. I've been working all alone to get off the ground. The least that you could do is try to help me out.
Yeah. Another little trick that I used in this song, which is the very first time I've ever used this in all my songwriting, is the use of having key changes. I was kind of stuck with this track actually when it was due for deadline at the end of last year, and I kind of just had it as is, but I didn't have key changes. I just had, a double chorus at the end. And I kind of felt that it still had room to move, and it should still go somewhere or step up to another place. And I was listening to some Michael Jackson, and it kind of hit me like, why don't I just try something that I would think is normally cheesy, just see if it works, because I kind of had nothing to lose. And it worked. I think it really works in this song. It kind of makes it feel like it's got direction and it's going up and it's building. So I did 2 key changes, not just one. I went a bit out there. Just up by a semitone each time. So I knew that like from the beginning I wanted this song to feel quite epic and big and a little bit throwback to, Mariah Carey and A lot of those early 2000s R&B artists that I love, like Aaliyah, Brandy, TLC. Yeah, so that's a cool trick. You guys should try. You should try that if you want to try something different. Again, the structure vocally of this track is pop, but as you can hear, like I wanted to make the production just a little bit different. I wanted it to be quite heavy and beatsy, heavier vibe, because of the theme of the track. Also, this is the first time I kind of used a fade out as an ending to a song. I've kind of always felt sometimes that maybe it's a cop out, but in this song, I think it really works because that vocal chant just keeps on going. I'll play out this last section so you can hear what I mean.
Try to help me out too. Tell me it's the same old song. You missed the cue, you didn't show. Tell me it's the same old song. Shut the door, but I keep knocking. It's the same old song. And now I'm better off. Tell me it's the same old song.
So key change one. Yeah, so just fade out there. One little thing that I did for this song was record in myself on using the laptop mic here, doing like a little vocal percussive layer. I'll solo it, but all I did was this little sound. And at first I kind of wanted to put that in there just as an idea to come back to replace it with a proper sound. But I left it in there because I like it. I think it sounds a bit weird. But I think it really works in it. So that's a fun little tool, a little trick that you can do. Just making percussion with your mouth. So this sound here. And that wasn't that loud. See if you can hear that. So I pitched that down, EQ'd it, gave it a bit of flavour. And again with the snares, I did that again. I layered them. You could hear that there's loads going on in the drums, just because I want it to be quite colourful in the production. All the syncopated hits as well. Yeah. So layering, that's another thing I love to do. And in the kick drum, one last thing I'm going to talk about is I kind of wanted to vary up the groove of it. So you notice that not every time the kick actually hits on the one, it drops back. There's nothing on the one beat. Not yet. I think it's this part here. Here. Yeah, it's just a little thing that I chucked in. Not chucked in, took out. Sometimes less is more. That's something that I'm getting to know. So yeah, that's basically the two songs. So you guys are the first group of people to actually hear them. No one else has heard them in the public off the album. So cool. I'm going to talk about, I didn't get to show you this. I have to show you how this works. So this is called a pocket piano. I bought this in Toronto last year. And I was just going to play some sounds on it. So it's pretty crazy. I made the rise like this. So it started as that. Yeah. And all you do, it's so simple, like it's pretty intuitive. All you have to do is press these two buttons to switch between presets. Nothing's labeled. It's just like, here's a wooden button. I'm going to see what happens if I press it. Tell me if it's too loud, by the way, because it's ear piercing, some of them. Has an arpeggiator. Yeah, so many good sounds on this. That's the sound I used for the bass, actually, in this song. But what I did was when I recorded it in, I pitched down the audio to an octave below so it could have a bit more of a sub quality to it. So yeah, you guys should check this out. I think there's like 3 different versions where there's an actual bass version of this. Then there's this one which has MIDI inputs and outputs. And I think there's 3. No, there's this one with the MIDI, one without, and then the bass version.